Hi everyone, so today I'm going to do a review video for you guys. Love review videos. Haven't done too many of them, but I do love doing them because we get to do it together for the first time, and that's kind of fun. So I'm not only sharing my opinion with you, forming one for myself. And I've read mixed reviews on this paint, so I thought what better way than to test it out myself and let my viewers see that. So what are we testing? We're testing the Magnolia Homes Joanna Gaines chalk style paint, and I'm really excited. It does come in a lot of different colors. The color selection card has a lot of colors on it, so that's great. I'm always excited when a paint line has a fair amount of colors. The only bummer part is my Target did not have very many of them. I think there was 3 colors, a gray, a white, and then this color that I got. I chose this color, which is called Weekender. I figured if I was going for it, just go for a really pretty, cool, fun color. And she actually put this on her favorites list, so I thought, well, let's give it a go. So we're gonna do this together. I'll start with a practice board, and then if all looks good from there, we'll move on to a small project and really test it out. So keep watching, stay tuned. Our next element will be the practice board. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I've got my practice board out. I've got my paint can open. I'm all stirred up and ready to go. And I have my handy Klingon brush. So let's give this a go and see what our first impression is on this paint, okay? I'm gonna tip the camera down so you guys can let's go ahead and give this a go and see what we think. First of all, I can tell you this paint is very thin. It's kind of weird, but some paints are thinner, some paints are thicker. This one happens to be really thin. Could be the color too. Certain colors are thinner than other colors, and I tend to find that the darker colors are thinner. So far, coverage looks like it's pretty darn good. It's going on nice and easy and smooth. Of course, that has a lot to do with the tools that you use, and this Klingon F50 is like my savior when it comes to painting. It just does such a beautiful job. Okay, so we have our first coat on. Went on really nice. It's a very thin paint, but it seems like the coverage is good. I will come back and show you when this is dry. I always like to show you what the first coat looks like, because if you're a beginning painter, it's kind of nice to know once that first coat is on, not to freak out that they never look good on the first coat. So I always like to show that. So as soon as this is dry, I'll come back and show you guys, and then we'll do our second coat. Let's see how many coats it takes and how well it goes on. Okay, so I waited 30 minutes because this is a practice board, so they dry pretty fast. This is the first coat result. Actually pretty good coverage. I'm feeling it, and it's really smooth, so that's kind of cool. The can does say to dry time is 1 hour, recoat time 2 hours. So on a project, I would definitely follow those instructions. For a practice board that we're just doing a tiny little piece, 30 minutes was plenty of time for this to set up and be ready for its second coat. So I have to say, so far so good. I am impressed with the coverage. It says 1 to 2 coats on the can. I can't imagine 1 coat would do anybody's project unless you like that look where there's some peek through in it, and you're not looking for a full coverage look. So we're gonna go ahead and do the second coat to see how well that covers. Typically what I tend to do is on dark colors even, it's about a 3 coat, and that's just because I like a really solid look. If I want it to have some sort of an aged look, I do that with my finishes, which would be glazing or the aging wax. I don't particularly care for a look that's like this where it's got the peek through, but like I said, everybody's different, so you know, it is a really good coverage, so I do like that. The one thing I noticed too is once I put the lid back on the can and it sat for a while, I would recommend stirring it with every use. It seemed to separate a little bit, and it seemed more liquidy on the top. So keep that in mind too, that for every use, I would just get in the habit of stirring this paint, and that's with a lot of paint. So this one isn't really too different, but I did notice that, so I just wanted to mention that. So let's go ahead and give this our second coat. Let's see how it goes on. Sometimes when you start to layer your paint, you notice that it may drag on the second coat, or it may go on just beautifully. So let's see how this paint stands up to the second coat test. I have my handy saran wrap that I wrapped my brush in so I didn't have to rewash it since we were only waiting 30 minutes. And I did not put my gloves back on because I realized I am full of paint anyway, so what's a little more? So I do like the way this is going on as the second coat. Like I said, sometimes you'll realize the second coat goes on and it seems to be a little bit drier, or it just kind of drags a little bit more over that first coat, and this does not seem to be doing that. It does feel to me like the workable time of it is not that great. Like I need to stop what I'm doing right now, because I'm feeling like when that second coat is going on, it's feeling dry very quickly. And some paints are like that. So there's two things you can do. Stop and catch anything you missed on your next coat, or you can add a little bit of water. Now I don't add water to my paint. I add water by simply filling up a cup, dipping my brush in the water, and then going ahead and putting it on my piece, and that helps to let it have a little bit more workability as far as the time goes. So far so good. I'm gonna go ahead and let this dry, and we'll come back and see how our second coat looks. So we're back. It has been an hour, and I am impressed with the way this has come out. 2 coats. I'm gonna show you up close. Ooh, pretty nice. I would say, unless you are pretty picky, like me, you could get away with 2 coats, no problem. The coverage on this paint is really, really nice. It is really super smooth. It dries down very matte, as you can see, so it gives you that true chalk paint finish of that matte look, but it doesn't feel chalky at all. So I love the way that the texture is that on the finished product. Very, very smooth. So personally, I would probably do 3 coats just because that's me, and that's typically what I would do with most of my pieces. And I have to say, so far so good. I am impressed. The only thing that I want to do before I finish and give my final review on this paint is I want to put an aging wax on it. I did it on a little test stick that I had when I first opened the paint to try the color, and I really liked the way it looked, so I want to see how it works with her paint and how the end result looks. So I'm gonna do that, and then I will get back and give you my final review on the Joanna Gaines Magnolia Home Chalk Style. All right guys, so let me go ahead and give you my final take on this Joanna Gaines Chalk Style paint. I like it, I really do. Now keep in mind I've only done a practice board, so I haven't done a whole piece yet, but I will. I'm definitely gonna try this on an entire project, and when I do, I'll make sure that if my comments differ from this review video, I'll let you guys know. But it's pretty, I would say it's pretty easy to judge a paint real quick whether you like it or not, and so by doing a practice board, that for me is a telltale whether I like it or don't like it. I do like this paint. I would buy it again. There's a few things I want to tell you about it. So for one, I want to show you, I sealed mine with the clear and the black wax. I left this top here, the original, because I wanted you to see the difference in what the black aging wax did to the paint, and it's just beautiful. It made it just so much richer. But color selection on this line is great. 35 colors is a lot of colors, so that's great. So that was a positive. The first and second coat went on equally as nice. Sometimes you'll find with different paints that one goes on better than the other. In this case, I found that both coats were very easy to put on. It's a little bit thinner of a consistency of paint, which I liked. Sometimes that will make you think, oh, it's not gonna get good coverage. Well, that's the next thing, coverage. 2 coats, and this was pretty much done. It says 1 to 2 on the can. 1 definitely not, but 2 for sure. So, you know, that's a preference. Sometimes, like I said earlier, I put on 3 coats just because I like a super even coverage and no peek through, but total preference. 2 coats would do it. So that was also very good, the coverage. The only thing, there's two things actually that I found that if someone were to ask my humble opinion, that I would give it to them. So because I'm doing a review video, I'm gonna give it to you guys. For one, that it is only sold in a quart, and that can kind of be a downfall for somebody who's either new or somebody who's new to the line of paint that may not want to invest, the full price in a quart because you don't know because you've never tried the paint before, so you kind of want to ease into it. Or for two, you want to just do a small project and you don't really need to invest the full price of a quart. So my suggestion or my opinion would be they need to have some smaller sizes, some sample sizes available. A lot of lines do that. General Finishes is just now coming out with samples of their popular colors. Annie Sloan has every color in a sample. Fusion has every color in a sample size. So, their price point obviously would be a lot less. And if it's for a small project, that's awesome. Or if it's just something you're getting into, it's awesome because you're not sure you want to make that full investment in the size of a quart. So that would be one thing that I think I would love to see with this paint line. The second thing is, it's sold at Target. What does that mean? Well, most of these type of paints are sold at either boutique type shops or, I don't even know if that's a word, boutique, but sounded good, so I'll use it. But they're sold at, boutique style stores, or they're sold at, like my General Finishes is sold at a woodworking store, where the displays, there's a little more pride in the displays. I found when I went to Target, it is located in her Magnolia home area, but the whole display was completely disheveled. It was super hard to reach. They had put the paint actually all the way at the top, and they had put like the paint brushes and other things down below. So, and then like I said, it wasn't nice at all. It looked like, kind of a hurricane came through it, and so it was weird. That I didn't like. I'm used to going to places where the displays are nice and you can pick up the can and take a look. So that was kind of but that could just be my store. I don't know, it might be all Targets. I have no idea. But that and the color selection that I mentioned, she has 35 colors, that's so cool. There was 3 colors at my store. Three to choose from. Not so great. So I don't know if that's just a local store thing. I don't know, that could just be something they need to start to learn how to balance, how maybe it was super popular and flew off the shelves. I don't know. So the thing that's a bummer about that is I hate getting turned on to a paint that I really like and then I can never get any colors. That's kind of, that's kind of a downfall. So anyway, those are the few things that I would say are negative, which really have nothing to do with the paint itself. The paint itself is a really cool paint. So that's my 2 cents. You guys try it, and feel free to reach out and ask any questions that you want about what I've done here with my practice board, but I love it. I'm definitely going to use this on a project and see how it goes. So thanks you guys for watching. Keep subscribing so you can get my videos, and you'll see you in the next one.